Good day everyone, this is the lecture for week number 3, the casting process. So ito yung lecture na hindi natin na-discuss last time. So ang objectives dito is ma-define natin yung metal casting and yung mga considerations in casting operations. Then second, understand why metal casting processes are often selected among other manufacturing processes. So makikita natin yan sa mga advantages na itong casting process. Then explain the different processes involved in casting of metals. Know the classifications of casting practices and create a simple product using casting. So itong last na objective is magagawa nyo yan sa final product ninyo kung sakali man kayo ay gagawa ng product na kasama yung casting as the manufacturing process of making the product. So for the introduction, itong lesson na ito is all about basic fundamentals ng metal casting. So yung gagamitin na industrial material dito is metal. Okay? So although may iba pang industrial materials maliban sa metal katulad ng polymers na pwedeng i-casting, is dito sa lecture na to mag-focus tayo sa metal as industrial materials sa ating casting process. So ano ba yung definition ng casting? So casting is the process of making objects by pouring molten metal into an empty shape. Ibig sabihin, kailangan muna natin tunawin yung metal bago natin siya i-pour doon sa pinaka-molde. And siyempre, hintayin natin yun mag-cool down. Okay? At in the process, siya ay titigas na rin, okay, doon sa desired form. Yung susundan niyang form or shape is yung shape na rin ng molde. Okay? So next, dito tayo sa mga considerations sa casting operations. So katulad din naman ng ibang manufacturing processes, kailangan may mga considerations tayong tingnan dito sa casting operations. Kasi nakaka-apekto yun sa production ng good quality and economical castings. Pag sinabing economical castings, yung makakatipid yung company sa mga processes na iyon. Ibig sabihin, walang nasasayang na resources. Pag good quality naman, ibig sabihin, wala dapat mga imperfections doon sa magiging product ng casting or wala dapat defects. Okay? So, unang consideration is yung flow of molten metal doon sa mold cavity. So yung molten metal or yung natunaw na metal ay kailangang isalin doon sa tinatawag na pouring basin or cup. Okay, so yun yung pinaka-opening papunta doon sa molde. Okay, so it then flows through the gating system into the mold cavity. So dapat smooth yung flow ng molten metal, hindi yung mayroong na-stuck. Okay, para even yung magiging laman nung cavity nung pinaka-molde. Okay? Then next is the solidification and cooling of the metal in the mold. Okay, so pagkatapos ng ma-pour or masalin lahat ng molten metals doon sa pinaka-molde, so kailangan na natin palamigin yun. Okay? Sa process ng pagpapalamig or cooling, nagsusolidify na rin yung molten metal, okay, doon sa loob ng molde. And yung time it takes para palamigin yung mga nakas natin is nakaka-apekto yun doon sa kanyang size, shape, uniformity, and chemical composition. Okay, kaya importante rin kung gaano katagal tayo naghihintay or pinapalamig yung pinakanakas natin para tama yung kanyang mga properties na nabanggit dito. Okay. Then next, ayan, sabi dito, but the significant factors affecting solidifications are the type of metal used and the thermal properties of both metal and mold. So kung ano rin yung uri ng metal na gagamitin natin, syempre may iba't ibang thermal properties yun, di ba? Nakaka-apekto din yun sa kung gaano siya kabilis mag-solidify. Okay? And kung ano ba yung gagamitin na molde. So ganun class, no? Then third is the influence of the type of mold material. So mold material influences the final structure of casting product by its ability to transfer heat. Okay, so dapat yung magiging molde natin is hindi siya yung nagko-contain ng heat. Ibig sabihin nadi-disperse niya yung heat. Kasi pag hindi niya nadi-disperse yung heat mula dun sa molten metal, ang tendency is magka-crack siya agad o pwedeng magkaroon ng leakage. Okay, doon sa pinaka-molde pag hindi niya kayang i-disperse yung heat coming from the molten metal. Then, ito yung mga advantages ng casting from other manufacturing process. Bakit ba laging preferred yung method ng casting na ito over other manufacturing process? Kasi itong casting is the simplest method of forming metal. Okay, so napakasimple lang niya, tutunawin lang yung metal and ilalagay lang sa molde. And it enables the formation of intricate or complex shapes kasi nakadepende sa molde or hulmahan yung magiging shape ng product. Okay, so maraming uri ng hulmahan kaya nakakagawa siya ng iba't ibang shapes. Then it offers is tremendous design flexibility such as objects. So mula 5 GM to 200 tons of any shape and size can be easily cast. So mula dun sa pinakamaliit hanggang sa pinakamalaki, pwedeng makast. So napakadaming products, metal products na gawin under ng casting process. So yung GM na ito, ibig sabihin gigameter. So measure yan ng length ng objects. Okay? Then next is here are the steps involved in casting process. So there are 5 steps involved in casting process. Yung una yung paggawa ng pattern niya. Okay, pattern ng molde. Okay, so ito ay tinatawag ding replica ng product. Kasi doon nakukunin ng molten metal yung pinaka specification and dimension. Okay, so yun yung mag-shape dun sa gagawing mold. Okay, molde. At pag sinabing mold cavity, yung pinakadaluyan ng mga molten metal. Okay, yun yung mag-shape. Itong pattern yung mag-shape doon. And kaya mahalaga dito yung accuracy. Kasi pag nagkamali tayo ng dimensions ng pattern, magkakamali din tayo sa magiging dimensions ng finished product. Okay? So yung mga patterns ay pwedeng gawa sa iba't ibang materyales tulad ng kahoy o kaya metal, plastic or plaster. Siyempre pag wood, hindi pwede yung sobrang iinit na molten object kasi pwedeng masunog, di ba? So sa wood karaniwan mga polymer yung ginagamit, yung material pag wood yung pinaka pattern niya. Okay? And then yung metal, plastic or plaster, yan, pwede rin yan. Then dimensional accuracy and design are extremely important because the pattern determines the form of that casting will take. Yan, kaya dapat sa paggawa pa lang ng pattern is accurate na tayo sa mga dimensions. Kasi pag dun pa lang hindi na natin maging nagawang accurate in the process, magiging reject yung magiging finished product natin. Okay? The next is kailangan din ng precise calculations para ma-ensure yung final quality cast product. Ayan, naka-fit dapat yung finished product doon sa pinaka-molde niya. Okay? Then next na step is yung tinatawag na investment casting. So specific type siya ng casting na mamaya mapapanood nyo yung video nito. Okay, gumagamit siya ng wax patterns. Okay, so kung yung molten metal ay sinasalin nga doon sa molde and it allowed to be hardened and it sits in the shape of a wax pattern. Ibig sabihin nun, yung investment casting, ginagawa dyan yung mga patterns using wax. Okay, or patterns that are composed by wax material. Okay, then next is yung molding. So ano itong molding? The mold is prepped to receive the molten metal. Sabihin na siya inahanda na yung pinakamolde para salinan na nung molten metal. So there are 2 types of mold processes sa casting. So yung tinatawag na reusable and non-reusable. Siyempre pag sinabing reusable, yung nagagamit pa sa susunod na process na casting. Pag non-reusable, yung hindi na magagamit, ibig sabihin nasira na sa process ng casting. Okay? So dito, may another type, yung sand casting. Yan yung most common non-reusable molding process. Mamaya din mapapanood yung video niyan. So dito sa sand casting kasi, yung kanyang mold, pinaka-molde, ay nasisira sa process niya, kaya non-reusable. So laging gumagawa ng bagong molde sa kada process ng sand casting. Okay? Then next is third, melting and pouring. Okay, so before they can be used in the casting process, yung mga metals, syempre dapat matunaw muna yan doon sa pinakapugon or furnace na kung tawagin. At saka lang sila pwedeng maisalin doon sa pinaka daluyan or cavity into the mold. Okay, and para rin sila ay mag-harden. Then once na sila ay ma-cooled, sila ay lumamig at tumigas na doon sa pinaka molde, kailangan nang i-shake out and cleaning. Sabihin, tatanggalin na yung mga unwanted materials or particles such as sand. Okay, and dilinisin na nga yung na-shape na or na-cast na metal product. So yung mga excess metal din is tinatanggal din using a hammer. Ibig sabihin yan yung parang pinupukpok yung mga sobrang metals. Okay, then tumbling barrels, pressure washers, and air blasters, yan yung mga ginagamit para malinisan, okay, yung pinaka finished product, matanggal yung mga sand, yung mga rough edges, makinis. Okay, then next is heat treatment and inspection. So dito kailangan mag-undergo ng heat treatment para mas mapatibay pa or mas mapatigas pa yung casting. Okay, yung casting finished product. So dito kapag yung casting ay para makagawa ng mga heavy industrial materials, oftenly meron silang heat treatment. Okay, so dito may tinatawag na freezing temperature, wet environments, and extreme weight. Okay, so yung casting then undergo rigorous testing to check its structural integrity and physical properties. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, hindi ibig sabihin na heat treatment is hindi na siya nasiset dito sa cold temperature. So mayroong ini-freeze muna, okay, tapos binabasa, okay, and nagkakaroon na siya ng extreme weight. Ibig sabihin mas bumibigat siya, and bago siya dumaan doon sa pinaka heat treatment. Okay, then next is classifications na tayo ng casting process. So dito tayo manonood ng mga videos about this classification. Okay, so yung una, yung sand casting. So sabi dito, siya daw yung pinaka flexible or versatile na casting process. So bakit kaya? Kasi kaya daw niyang i-cast ang kahit na anong metal alloys. Okay, and widely used siya para sa maramihang paggawa. For example, yung mga parts ng sasakyan, okay, parts ng mga makina, yan, cylinder heads, crankshafts, etc. So it uses cope or the upper part and drag the lower part for the mold. Okay, so panoorin natin kung paano ba yung process nitong sand casting. Okay, so ito yung sand casting, panoorin natin. So mapapansin niyo dito na ginagawa muna yung pinaka-pattern niya, no? Ayan, using sand. Ayan. Pinaka-pattern niya and yung pinaka-molde na rin. Ayan, ibinaliktad. Siguraduhin kasi nga malalagyan ng lahat ng cavity na yan ng sand. Okay? Ayan, nilagyan pa ng sand. So, pinupuno talaga yan, kinakompact. Kaya, makikita nyo na yan, punong-puno yan. Okay? Make sure niya na lahat ng cavity ay nilagyan ng sand. Yan. So, kino-compress yung sand to make sure walang open cavity. Okay? Tapos meron pa siyang tool doon na kusang tinanggal yung nasa taas. Okay? So, ito na yung pinaka-pattern na nagawa dun sa molde. Okay, then nilagyan na nung additional feature doon sa pinaka-pattern niya. Okay. Ayan, tapos nilagay siya sa loob ng molde. Kasi yan yung susundan na shape ng molten metal na isasalin dito sa molde. Ayan, So inipit. Yan, kailangan yan na kapatong na yung pinaka sand. Ayan, so dito, yan yung pagtutunaw ng bakal. Tapos once na natunaw na, naging molten metal na, kukunin na yan nila. Ayan, so pagkakuha is, yan sinasalin na nga sa kada molde. Okay? Sinasalin na siya. Makikita nyo na nagbabaga yan kasi, yan, tunaw na metal yan eh. Okay? So, ayan. And pag ano na siya, nag-settle down na siya, ayan. Tinatanggal na sa molde para lumamig. Okay? Tinatanggal na sa molde yung mga na-shape na metal para lumamig. Yan, pinupukpok. Yan, para matanggal yung mga excess na sand. Okay? Siyempre, ihiwalay din sa pinaka-pattern yung na-shape na metal. Okay? Then, next naman is yung gravity die casting. So, this is also known as permanent mold casting and uses reusable mold. So, ano siya class? Hindi siya, kabalik rin siya ng sand casting, no? So, gumagamit naman siya ng permanent mold o yung hindi nasisira na mold doon sa process niya. Okay? So, yung gravity die casting is used for manufacturing yung mga gears, mga gear housing, wheels, and engine piston. So, yung mga part ng mga mechanical machines. Okay? Okay, so panoorin natin ng gravity die casting. So, ito yung gravity die casting. Ayan, so makikita nyo na ito yung pinaka-molde niya, no? And made of metal, pure metal. Kaya hindi yan nasisira doon sa process niya. And tingnan nyo, nilagyan pa siya ng pattern sa loob, yung pinaka-molde. Okay? So, yung pattern niya sa loob. Then, sinarado na yung molde. Okay? Ayan, to be ready doon sa pagsasalin ng molten metal. Okay, doon sa pinaka-molde. Ayan, so dyan, binubuhos na yung molten metal. Okay, so bakit siya tinawag na gravity die casting? Kasi ginagamit niya yung gravity, no? Kasi paano siya pababa. Sabihin, hinahayaan yung force ng gravity para ma-distribute yung molten metal. Okay? Doon sa cavity nung molde. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na gravity die casting. And so, tinanggal na or binuksan na yung molde. Kaya hindi naman nasisira yung molde. Okay? Kaya reusable siya yung molde niya. Ganyan, nag-form na sa loob. Makikita nyo na may mga sobra-sobra pa, di ba? Na parts. So, yan, tatanggalin pa yan. No? Kikinisin pa yan yung na-shape na metal na yan. Okay? The next classification is yung pressure die casting. So, it uses non-alloy metals like zinc, tin, copper, and aluminum. Yan yung mga ginagamit sa process na ito. So, yung molten metal is in-inject dun sa reusable mold. Okay? Ibig sabihin yan, sa pressure die casting, parang yung sinundan niya lang, no? Yung gravity die is reusable mold din yung ginagamit sa kanya. And dito mahalaga yung tinatawag na lubricant para maiwasan yung pinaka friction between the machine or the mold and the workpiece. Okay? So ginagamit siya sa high pressure and maintained throughout the process to avoid metal hardening. Okay, so dito may dalawang kind. Yung una yung low pressure die casting. So ginagamit yan para sa mga large and single parts production. Samantala yung pressure die casting ginagamit siya sa maramihang gawa or mass production. Na kung saan meron silang mga complex geometries and require higher precision. Okay, so yung papanoodin natin ngayon is ito, yung high pressure die casting. Okay, so ito yung high pressure die casting. Makikita ninyo na mula dito sa pinaka furnace nila, yan, kumuha ng molten metal ng worker, tapos sinalin niya dito sa pinaka machine. Okay? Yan, so nag-a-apply ng pressure yung machine ito using this tool. Okay? So So ulitin niya yan. Ayun yung pinaka finished product nila, no. Kikinisin pa yan. So yan, nilinis muna yung pinaka molde. Okay ba, kasi may natira pang mga particles ng metal. Okay, kaya nilinis muna. So using high pressured water para matanggal yung mga excess na metals, yung mga maaaring matira yan sa pinaka molde. Okay, so tingnan natin yung process. Yan, sinarado niya ulit yung molde. Mapapansin nyo, reusable yung molde na yan, hindi yan nasisira. Then kukuha siya ulit ng molten metal. Ayan, mula dyan sa furnace. Ayan. So yan ay molten aluminum, no? Ayan, tapos sinasalin niya dyan sa pinaka cavity, and then papansin nyo pinupush, no, to apply high pressure. Okay, para kumbaga maniksik dun sa pinaka molde. Then pag binuksan nyo na, mapapansin nyo ayan, ano na dyan, nakalapat na yung finished product. So yan na yung pinaka finished product. Okay, so next naman is yung tatawag na investment casting, so also known as lost wax casting. So yun yung process na gumagamit ng wax pattern. Ito yung na-define natin kanina, di ba? Okay, so tingnan natin kung paano ba siya ginagawa in actual, itong investment casting.
This is an investment casting foundry, where scorching molten metal is poured into molds and turned into high-strength aluminum and steel castings. So what exactly is investment casting? Also known as precision casting or lost wax casting, the investment casting process dates back more than 5,000 years and was used for making art and jewelry over the centuries. Today, investment casting is being seen as the future by many industries seeking lightweight and complex components. It all begins with the production of a wax model or pattern, which is created in the shape of the desired part. However, when time is short, patterns can also be made using 3D printing technologies, allowing for rapid prototype castings to be completed much faster. Wax patterns are typically made by injecting wax into a metal tool or die. These patterns are attached to a wax tree, also called a sprue, which is used for the mold making process. The wax patterns are then dipped or invested into a liquid ceramic slurry, after which fine sand or stucco is applied to the wet surface. The mold is allowed to dry, and the process is repeated a number of times, resulting in a layered ceramic mold. Before pouring metal into the mold, the wax is removed using a flash fire oven, which melts and burns out the wax. The mold is then preheated to a specific temperature to prevent the liquid metal from solidifying before the entire mold is filled. Alloy is melted in a ceramic crucible using a process known as induction and electric resistance melting. When the alloy reaches its specified temperature, it is poured into the mold, and the mold is allowed to cool. Once cool, the shell material is removed from the metal. This is typically done using a hammer or high-pressure water blast. The parts are removed from the sprue, and the gates are removed from the part. The surface can then be finished using belting, grinding, or polishing. The investment casting process produces complex, high-precision components with an excellent as-cast surface finish, often reducing or even eliminating the need for machining. It is often the only way a part can be manufactured economically. For more information about...
Okay, so yan yung investment casting, no. Napansin natin na gumagamit siya ng wax, okay, wax pattern. So siya ay under ng non-reusable mold. So ibig sabihin nasisira din yung pinaka-molde pagkatapos ng process. Kaya siya tinawag na investment casting kasi napaka kailangan ng investment, maraming processes kasi na pinagdadaanan pa bago makagawa ng isang molde. Okay? Next is yung plaster casting. So itong plaster casting, hindi ko na sa inyo papapanood kasi ito yung magiging activity nyo. Okay, learning activity. Do-document nyo lang yung step-by-step process nitong plaster casting. So dito na tayo sa centrifugal casting. So also known as roto casting. Kasi nga, nag-involve siya ng centrifugal force doon sa kanyang fast casting process. So, yan, meron siyang preheated spinning die. So, umiikot talaga dito yung pinaka-molde niya, no? Saka, sinasalin yung natunaw na bakal sa kanya. Okay? Yan. Sa pamamagitan ng pag-ikot ng molde, nakagawa ng high pressure doon sa cavity ng molde. So, mayroong 3 types ng centrifugal process. So, yung una, yung true centrifugal process. So, doon, yung molten metal ay sticks to the side due to continuous rotation. Samantala, pag semi-centrifugal process, yung mold is completely filled using a sprue. Ibig sabihin, meron pang salinan. Okay? Salinan or sprue. The next is a vertical centrifugal process, uses directional molding following the same process as true centrifugal. So, ibig sabihin yung vertical, ito rin yun, yung true centrifugal. Yung nga lang pa vertical, yung kanyang direction. Okay? Yung or pa vertical or patayo, yung pinaka-molde niya na umiikot. Okay, so panoorin natin tong centrifugal casting. Okay, so ito yun. Ayan, so yun yung pinakalagayan ng molten metal. So yun yung molten metal, sasalin. So sinalin siya sa pinaka basin. Okay? So then sa dito ginagawa inahalo yung metal kasi meron pa siyang inad na mga metal particles doon sa pinaka molten metal niya. Okay, so yan, binuhat nila. So, dito dapat may extreme caution, no? Kasi pwede yan makalapnos ng balat ng tao. And then, ayan na, sinalin na siya doon sa pinaka pinaka salinan or sprue niya. Okay? Yan, napupunta yan dito sa molde na umiikot. Yan, kaya siya tinawag na centrifugal casting. Okay, so bilisan natin konti. Yan. Yan, magsusolidify na yan dyan. Okay. The next is ito pang mga classifications, yung lost form casting. So, similar daw siya sa investment casting, pero ang ginagamit naman dito is foam. Okay. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung process nitong lost form casting. Yan, so makikita nyo na ginawa muna yung pinaka molde niya. Kaya nga para din siyang investment casting. Okay, kasi inuuna yung paggawa ng molde. Sabihin, matrabaho yung paggawa ng molde niya. Okay, yung molde nga lang nito is made of foam. Ayan, so mabusisi yung paggawa ng molde na gawa sa foam. Okay, kaya this is very similar to investment casting. Napansin niyo yung mga molde, kinukotan pa siya ng pang patigas, no? Na surface coat. Ayan, tapos sineset up na siya sa pinaka molde, and dito sa part na ito, nilagyan pa siya nung nilalagyan na siya dyan, okay? Nung pinaka nung sand, okay? And yung pinaka molten metal ay sinasali na rin sa kanya. And sa process na yan, matutunaw or mawawala na yung foam at mag-harden na yung metal doon sa shape ng foam. Okay, makukuha niya yung shape and specification ng foam. Okay, so ganyan yung lost form casting. Okay, next is yung tinatawag na vacuum casting. So yung production niya nag-occurs at vacuum pressure. So ibig sabihin, kailangan dito ng setup kung saan walang flow ng air. Kaya nga siya tinawag na vacuum. Okay, so yung molten metal ay sinasalin dun sa mold cavity. So dapat nga vacuum yung pinaka-chamber niya. So pag sinabi natin vacuum, wala siyang air pockets. Okay? So then yung metal ay kinupure dun sa tinatawag na heating chamber. Okay, kapag siya ay tinanggal na sa pinaka-molde. So panoorin natin kung paano ginagawa yung vacuum casting.
It is the exclusive know-how which is the main point of our activities. Proficast provides casting knowledge which was gained and brought to perfection through a 100-year-old tradition with 4 generations of founders. Many manufacturers of precision cast parts cooperate with us due to our know-how and the superior casting quality of our casting machines.
With us, you can manufacture steel cast parts of the highest quality. Starting point for the creation of the masterpieces is a 3D CAD drawing from which a 3D rapid prototyping machine can work. The solids are made from volume building methods by laser beams, for example, with stereolithography, and subsequently manually finished. Great attention has to be paid to accuracy when finishing the masterpieces, because the final cast product can never be of a higher quality than the masterpiece itself. After manual processing has been completed, the masterpiece is cast in silicon. The mold for creation of the wax pieces for small series production is achieved by peeling the masterpiece from the silicon. After closing, the silicon mold is preheated in a heating cabinet. From the tilting crucible in a vacuum chamber, the molten and stirred wax flows into the preheated silicon mold via a channel system. After the chambers are evacuated in order to obtain perfect filling of the mold, the pouring starts. The filled molds remain in the vacuum chamber until the wax begins to solidify. Several wax pieces are created in this manner and combined to form a wax tree. Later, the stem and branches of this wax tree form the channels for the flow of the metal in the casting process. Special expertise is required to ensure an uninterrupted flow of the molten metal which is necessary in feeding the cast part. This is crucial for good filling and high quality. The caster is checking the wax trees thoroughly, especially the surface quality and the stability of the spruing. From the weight of the wax tree, the caster calculates the weight of the metal to be melted and cast. The setting up of what later becomes the cast shell is a very long procedure. The wax tree is dipped 7 or more times into the slicker, sand-coated and cured to achieve a thickness of the shell wall, assuring adequate stability for the metal casting. With conventional methods, this procedure takes several days or even a week, sometimes even longer. By applying our special drying method, the duration of this procedure can be cut to 3 to 4 hours. After the shell is finished and dried, it is initially put into the dewax furnace, later into the burnout furnace. The temperature in the dewax furnace melts the wax which then flows out. Subsequently, the shell is burned out to achieve the desired hardness of the shell. After that, the shell is brought to the correct temperature for casting. In parallel, the casting machine is set up for casting. The appropriate crucible is put into place and loaded with the metal to be cast in the desired quality and the exact weight which complies with the volume of the hollow space in the shell. From the operating panel of the casting machine, the optimal parameters for melting and casting are adjusted. The heating and melting starts. Our steel casting machine of the SGA series with a melting capacity of 25 kilograms of steel can be used for steel, stainless steel, nickel and cobalt-based steel like Inconel. After only a few minutes, the metal starts to change color and melts. Skilled casters can read the temperature of the metal from the color, red to white. Equipped with suitable protective clothing and the metal at a temperature of more than 1700 degrees Celsius, a binding agent is spread on top of the melt and the slag is manually skimmed. The glowing hot, meanwhile empty shell is picked from the burnout furnace by means of a tongue, carried to the casting machine and hung into the frame in the lower chamber of the casting machine. It is, in a manner of speaking, the last action before the highlight, casting itself. From the operating panel, the caster starts the tilting of the crucible and the molten metal pours into the relevant shell. Time and again, this is an exciting event even for our skilled specialists, for at this moment it shows whether the shell will remain in one piece. After waiting some minutes for the solidification of the melt, the filled shell can be taken from the machine and cooled down slowly. There is no use for the shell anymore, and it is hammered off. The cast metal piece is left. It is cleaned, the parts to be used will be cut from the tree and forwarded for further processing. We are the brand from Germany to tool up precision casting plants.
Okay, so ano napansin ninyo sa vacuum casting? So hawig siya nung investment casting, no, kasi mabusisi din yung paggawa ng kanyang molde, no. Napakadaming processes na pinagdadaanan ng paggawa ng molde. Okay? And itong vacuum casting is classified under non-reusable mold kasi nasisira yung molde niya pagkatapos ng process. Okay? And yung pinakakinaibahan lang ng process na ito is kailangan niya ng vacuum chamber. Okay? Or kailangan niya ng isang environment kung saan walang flow ng hangin. Okay? Para maiwasan yung mga bubbles. Okay? Doon sa pinaka cast material. Then we have the classification of continuous casting. So dito sa continuous casting, yung molten metal is poured at a calculated rate. Sabihin na meron na siyang expected na rate kung kailan siya mapupunta doon sa isang part ng process. Okay? At na-measure na rin kung kailan din siya magko-cool down. And kailangan din siya tatanggalin doon sa pinaka-molten. So panoorin natin kung paano ginagawa itong continuous casting. Okay, so ito yung continuous casting.
Continuous casting is the process used to solidify the molten steel ready for shaping into a huge range of final products. A ladle of steel is teamed or poured through a gas-tight refractory tube into a tundish. The tundish is a reservoir that allows the steel to flow at a controlled rate through further gas-tight refractory tubes and into a series of water-cooled copper molds. With only the outer shell solidified, the steel is drawn from the bottom of the mold through a curved arrangement of support rolls and water sprays. It emerges horizontally in the form of a solid steel strand. At this point, it is cut to length using automatic gas burners. Depending on their size, these solid shapes are called billets, blooms, or slabs, and are now ready for shaping into finished products.
Okay, so nakita natin yung continuous casting, no? Kaya siya tinawag na continuous casting is mula dun sa pinaka-basin niya na situated in the topmost part ng assembly of machines, no? Mula doon is very calculated yung flow ng molten metal papunta dun sa mga susunod pa na processes. Okay, kaya siya tinawag na continuous casting. So tuloy-tuloy yung process. Ibig sabihin hindi siya naaantala. Okay? The next is we have shell molding. So yung shell molding ay expendable mold casting. Ibig sabihin non-reusable din itong yung mold na ginagamit dito sa shell molding. So similar daw siya sa sand casting, pero yung kanyang pinaka-difference is yung hardened shell, okay, nung sand, siya yung pinaka nagfo-form ng mold cavity instead na isang flask yung nagfo-form. Okay? So tingnan natin kung paano ba ginagawa itong shell molding process. So ito yung shell molding process. So nakita nyo na ito yung pinaka mix, okay, ng sand material, and ito yung pattern, no? Then makikita nyo na nilagyan ng sand, okay, yung pinaka pattern. Papansin nyo nagkaroon na ng sand yung pattern, di ba? Okay, so dapat itong pattern ay mainit, okay, para siya ay kung saan mag-stick sa kanya yung sand. Ayan, so ininit ulit yung pinaka pattern, inulit lang yung process, no? Then nilagyan siya ulit ng sand, okay, para mag-stick sa kanya yung mga sand dun sa pattern. And then pag nakagawa na ng dalawang side, ang gagawin ay yan, i-form na siya into one mold. So dito ginagawa kasi yung pattern, yan, magiging mold din na siya, ay mold din na meron ng pattern. Okay, so dyan na yung pumasok yung pinaka molten metal. Okay, so yan na yung finished product. Matatanggalin na lang yung pinaka pattern dyan, matitira yung ito yung na-shape, okay, na-shape na metal sa loob niya. Okay, so next dito meron tayong mga illustrations, no? Sand casting process. Yan, may mga parts yung kanyang molde. Okay, so yung unang part yung pouring cup, o dyan nyo isasalin yung molten metal. Ito naman downscrew, yan yung daluyan ng metal, no? Papuntang cavity ng mold. Then runner, yan part yan ng cavity. Flask, ito yung naga-handle ng sand material and the pattern. Yung mold, siya yung kabuuang part dito sa loob. Then drag, sabihin another part ng mold. Then parting line, so dito ibig sabihin meron siyang meron siyang parts, one part and the other part, para masigurado na na accurate or precise yung magiging dimension ng pinaka mamomold na metal or makakast na metal. Then dito yung pinaka core niya, or yung kung saan nandoon yung pinaka pattern niya sa loob. And dito na yung cast metal. Okay, yung kukuha ng pinaka shape nitong setup. Then sumunod na illustration, yung gravity die casting. Mapapansin nyo na yan, meron din siyang pouring basin. Diyan natin sasalin yung molten metal. And then mapapansin nyo, mas maano siya, mas mahaba yung dadaluyan, okay, pa vertical ng molten metal, kasi nga ginagamit niya yung force ng gravity. And itong feeder, diyan makikita kung puno na ba yung pinaka cavity ng mold. Ibig sabihin, pag nakita dito sa feeder na umapaw na yung molten metal, ibig sabihin puno na yung pinaka molde. Okay? And then sumunod yung pressure die casting process. Sa pressure die casting, mapapansin nyo, ito yung ejector pins. Okay? Sila yung pinaka nagpo-push nung molten metal papunta dun sa pinaka molde. Okay? Then next, centrifugal casting process. Mapapansin nyo dito na may iba't ibang klase siya, no? Kasi nabanggit din natin may iba't ibang kinds yung centrifugal casting. So itong una, yan yung true ito yung true centrifugal na casting. Okay, yung sumunod sa kanya yung semi, yung mayroong sprue, yung salinan, o yung napanood natin na video. Then yung sumunod yung last na kind ng centrifugal casting. Okay, then sumunod yung continuous casting process. Mapapansin nyo na mula dun sa pinakataas na part, yung tinatawag na tundish. Okay, yan, dyan ipupour yung molten metal pababa, so continuously flowing hanggang dun sa pinaka last part ng process nya. Then we have here the shell molding process, kung saan mayroon tayong shell, okay, na later on is masisira, and matitira na lang dyan yung pinaka casted metal. Then next, we have the vacuum die casting. Mapapansin nyo na walang ibang opening dito sa pinaka chamber ng molde natin, no, kundi yung pinaka pouring opening lang. Okay, kasi once na ma-pour na lahat dyan ng metal, isasarado yan automatically. Yan, to prevent the air bubbles from being present in the cavity of the mold. Okay, so that's the last part. So you can do your activity by watching this video. You should document the plaster casting process. So write your answer on a one whole yellow paper, okay, to be submitted next meeting. So kung may tanong kayo, may mag-ask sa akin, approach nyo lang ako. Thank you and God bless.